They say that poor policies are byproducts of poor discussions. Kaya mahalaga na pag-usapan at himayin ang mga ito bago pa ito maging batas. This is Let's Talk Policy. Si Congressman Chel is my dean back in law school. I'm part of the Primus batch of the Tanyada Jokno School of Law of De La Salle University. Kaya forever, ang lagi kong tawag Dean. And ang lagi kong bino kay Dean Chel, touch move ka na kasi kasalanan mo kung anong klaseng abogado po kami.
Oo. Kung may problema kayo kay Attorney Dino, sabihin niyo lang sa akin.
Atay! Law school all over again.
So yeah, diretso na tayo dun sa usapin ng HB 1351. So baka bago natin italakayin ng HB 1351, meron po kasing nakausap ang ating programa na si Edna. Basahin ko lang po ang kanyang storya. Magandang araw, Attorney Dino at Kong Chel. Ako po si Edna. Dumulog po ako sa inyong butihing programa para humingi ng payo. Yun hong asawa kong si Popong na addict na sa online sugal. Abay, hindi ko na makausap. Hindi ko na rin malambing. Sinubukan kong samsamin ng cellphone at itago, pero nakahanap pa rin niya. Raket-raket lang po siya ngayon at hindi ho niyan maatupag yung mga anak namin na nagsisipagpasok na. Ano po bang pwede kong gawin? Nagmamahal, Edna.
Ay, Edna, hindi kayo nag-iisa. Maraming mga Pilipino na nalululong dyan sa online gambling na yan. It's about time na meron tayong regulations galing sa gobyerno na stricto talaga para sa online gambling.
At hindi ka nag-iisa. In fact, meron kaming nakuhang datos, nakalap na datos sa isang pag-aaral na ginawa ng Batangas State University students. Kuha mo nga yung datos, Carlo, na napakarami talaga na nalululong dito sa online gambling. Ano nga bang mga nakita nating datos, Carlo?
Sabi dito, 64% of the 1,200 respondents from 17 regions are engaged in online betting or gambling. So 66% of the participants are aged 18 to 40. So ito yung mga Gen Z and mga millennials natin. And out of the 773 respondents, 30% were engaged in 2 to 3 times per week. So medyo may frequency din sila on a weekly basis. So yun naman yung ilan sa mga nakalap natin.
Napakarami talaga na nalululong dito sa online gambling, di ba? By design, nakikita natin na ito ay addictive. By design, ibig sabihin sila giant. Kasi kung hindi sila pabalik-balik doon, hindi tataas ang kita, no? So, talagang pinag-aaralan mabuti yan kung paano magiging addictive itong online gambling, no? At nakakagulat at nakakabahala yung mga datos na nakita natin. Dean, Kong, Dean Chel, Congressman Chel, ano nga ba yung rason kung bakit natin inintroduce tong House Bill 1351? What was Akbayan thinking and what was the greater context on why this bill was introduced by your political party?
Well, it's all about gambling addiction. Napakadali, napaka-unique ng online gambling. Buksan mo lang yung cellphone mo, click-click ka lang ng ganyan, mawawala na yung pera mo sa sugal. Kaya sa tingin namin, kailangan may gagawin ng ating Kongreso to put a stop to this. Kaya marami kaming naisip na mga features ng bill na final namin, yung e-kontrasugal bill. Because it's a very big problem that cannot be addressed just one-dimensionally. Age limitation. No one below 21 years old must be allowed access to those gambling sites. KFC, know your customer. We have imposed very strict requirements on all the online gambling platforms na kilalanin nila. Baka naman hindi naman talaga 21 years old yan. O baka naman addict na nga sa gambling yung mga customer nila. In which case, they have obligations that are imposed by the law kung magiging batas ito.
Nabasa ko rin din dun sa inyong panukalang batas na meron tayo yung tinatawag natin na bawal mag-advertise sa e-wallets at actually bawal maglagay ng link. Kasi sa aking pagkakaintindi, at least noon, there was a point in time na pwedeng isang click ka na lang. Carlo, tama nga ba? Nung tininan natin yan, 3 to 4 clicks.
Ilang hakbang lang, nandun ka na pumupusta ka na, gamit mo na yung totoong pera mo mula sa e-wallet, papunta dun sa gaming site.
Aside from that, meron din kami feature doon na kailangan may mga betting limits and loss limits. So, for example, every day or every week, hanggang ganito lang ang halaga na pwede mong ipusta. Pagka may natalo kang ganitong halaga, your account will be suspended and you cannot gamble until a certain period of time is elapsed.
Is there a safeguard or check and balance there din na kino-contemplate natin?
Yes, aware ka naman kami sa mga issues relating to regulatory capture. So number one, ay may oversight function naman ng Congress dyan. And second, even those within the government agencies involved, may mga penalties pag sila ay naging negligent o kaya mas deliberate nilang nilalabag yung nasa batas natin.
Yung nakita ko rin na isang feature din na tingin ko napakaganda is you allocate a certain percentage, tama po ba, noong tax na makukuha dito sa online gambling para tulungan yung mga nabiktima nitong online gambling. Ang nakalagay dito is 10%, no? How does Akbayan and your the principal authors envision this 10% to be exactly used? Kasi malaki yan eh. Kung anong meron tayong datos.
Sige, may datos tayo mula, ayon ito sa PAGCOR's annual report, no? Ang total na revenue natin from, total revenue ng PAGCOR in 2021 ay 32.6 billion. 2021, 2022, 55 billion. 2023, 73.1 billion. At noong 2024, 112 billion. Surprising yung datos na to. Mula 2021, halos kalahati na ngayon sa 2024 na revenue ng PAGCOR ay galing sa e-gambling.
112 billion,
112
tama
billion.
ba? Noong 2024.
49 billion of that is from e-gambling.
49 billion. So sabihin natin 49 billion, around 10% will be allocated para doon sa mga biktima, no? Ano yung intention din nitong panukalang batas at para saan gagamitin yung, sabihin na natin 10%, so around 5 billion yan, napakalaking halaga, no? Ano kaya yung mga programang nasa isip natin at sino ang implementing agency po nito?
Well, a portion of that will go to research because we have to really have evidence-based approaches to the problem. A portion will go to education and awareness campaigns para alam ng taong bayan, lalong-lalo na yung kabataan, kung ano yung mga risks pag ikaw ay nag-online gambling. And then a portion will go to rehabilitation. Kasi dun sa talagang na-addict na sa gambling, it's no different from other forms of addiction. Kailangan may mental health approach tayo sa kanila na talagang scientific, medical-based to address that problem. It's something that other countries have already done. Kaya we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Nandiyan na yung mga scientific basis niyan. Ang kailangan lang natin ay ma-apply natin dito sa atin.
And ibig sabihin, no, kasi meron tayong rehabilitation, meron tayong parang campaign, meron tayong research. Ibig sabihin, this is gonna be multi-agency approach or possibly even a whole of government approach in terms of dealing with the perils, diba, and hazards of online gaming. So, ibig sabihin ba din, ang intention ng batas is that there will be multiple agencies and departments who will be involved in making sure that this will be implemented properly?
Yes, it has to be because there are so many disciplines involved there. Nandiyan yung health, hindi yung mental health issue, nandiyan yung science-based na mga evidence and studies. So, it has to be a combination of all that.
Ang isang interesting din na nakita natin dito sa inyong panukalang batas is in relation to the loss limit is meron din tayong mechanismo ng self-exclusion, no? Can we delve into that concept? Ano nga ba itong self-exclusion mechanism? What does it mean? At paano ito ini-implement usually?
Well, it provides a way for someone who realizes na meron siyang gambling problem to not be given access to online gambling platforms. At hindi lang yan para sa kanya, pati sa kanyang pamilya. The family, kasi minsan nakikita naman ng pamilya, may problema, ayaw aminin ng gambler. So, both mechanisms are provided in the bill.
The question maybe, the burning question that we have is, why is it that we're opting for strict regulation instead of a total ban? And I think that is the linchpin of the discussion, di ba? Yung pinaka-importante. Kasi wala namang question, no? Wala namang question na kailangan i-regulate. Pero bakit regulasyon? Bakit hindi total ban? Your thoughts, Dean?
Well, we are not against a total ban. But we think that doing that now may just force these gambling platforms to go underground, which will make it even harder to identify and regulate them. Maybe what we are open to doing this at a time in the future. Subukan muna natin i-regulate ng mahigpit ang itong mga online gambling platforms. if it reaches a point where it's pretty obvious na kailangan na ng total ban, wala kaming problema doon. I-total ban natin. Para sa akin, it's best to do this on a step-by-step basis. And we begin by strictly regulating these platforms.
Yeah, yun nga, yung balance natin doon sa protection, very important kasi at the end of the day, who are the targeted individuals? These are the potentially people or at risk to begin with. Kaya nga nade-develop yung ganong klaseng addiction. So if we overly tighten the noose in terms of like a total ban, yun talaga yung potential na mangyari. And you lose the protection and the relief that these people might get from the government if it's something that is funded by gambling in itself. But it's very crucial for us to also find that balance, no? Yung and very good din sa HB. What I appreciate about the House bill is that we intend to be very data driven, particularly, and I assume din siya, baka pa-correct na lang na part of it is exploring the harms and the impact of e-gambling kasi yun po ba yun, no?
Oo.
Kasama naman. So yun, that's what I think about the question, the issue na yun.
Anong prospects din ng House bill na ito? Kamusta ang ating paglalobby and making sure na sana maipasa siya?
Actually, meron ng mga ibang mambabatas na nag-file ng similar bills. So it's a question of how we can navigate through the different personalities in Congress. But I'm very optimistic about it. Sa tingin ko, this is the kind of bill that cuts across political affiliations because ang ultimong nasasaktan dito yung mamamayan natin. And when we speak of gambling addiction, who can say that they are against making sure that that doesn't happen among our population? At the same time, we are also aware that we have to be able to this is a challenge and probably my first challenge as a legislator in terms of how we can persuade other legislators to co-author or co-sponsor or support this bill. But in terms of the content and the substance, I see no problem with pushing it.
With that said, Dean, any final words para dito sa e-gambling at sa lahat ng ating mga manonood?
Well, unang-una, sa lahat ng mga tempted na maglaro sa mga online gambling sites, alalahanin lang natin na may mga risks talaga involved dyan. At sana bago kayo pumasok dyan sa pagsusugal online, basahin din nyo. Marami rin materials online tungkol sa mga dangers ng pagsusugal online dahil sobrang napakadali na mawala yung pera natin. At isipin din natin yung mga nagmamahal sa atin dahil pag ikaw ay nalulong sa gambling online, ay hindi lang naman kayo ang nasasaktan, pati mga pamilya natin.
With that said, Dean, thank you very much. The Filipino people we were lucky to have you in Congress. We're happy na nandyan ka po at we are very excited na sana isa to sa mga unang batas na ipapasa ninyo. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Carlo.
Okay, maraming salamat. At dyan nagtatapos ang ating programa. Ako si Carlo Flores.
At ako po si Attorney Dino De Leon at ito po ang Let's Talk Policy.